Right now at noon, a fire at Joplin's tallest building. Details on this morning's blaze at Messenger Towers.
And we've got the clouds gradually increasing, rain on the way. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a series of paving projects is taking place across the McDonald County School District.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, this is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. New at noon today, details of a fire at Joplin's tallest building. Firefighters battled the blaze at 7:30 a.m. this morning at Messenger Towers. Now, according to first responders, the fire was on the 11th floor and started in a stove, damaging the interior of the kitchen. Residents on the 11th floor were evacuated. Some other floors were evacuated as well, but most residents in the building sheltered in place. There were no injuries, but due to the heat, some residents received care at the scene. Now let's head over to Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, temperatures heating up pretty quickly this morning and continuing to do so into the afternoon. Another hot one, and believe it or not, next week it's really going to heat up. But we'll worry about next week here in a few minutes. Let's get out the finish with today. You can see downtown Pittsburgh, clouds out there. Not completely cloudy, but mostly cloudy. Same from the Modoc camera 20th and range line in Joplin. Started yesterday, as we mentioned, 10 degrees below normal, but only a couple degrees above normal. So we're settling into that point in which, yeah, it's getting hot, but it's seasonably hot. We're in the low 80s right now in Joplin. Dew point and humidity. Dew point's climbing up there. Humidity not so much, so only a 1-degree heat index. On the Kansas side and the Pittsburgh, a little bit higher. The dew point humidity also higher in Pittsburgh. Temperatures across the area are in the low to mid 80s already. Showers, thunderstorms isolated initially between 5 and 10. And then we'll have more storms overnight as our temperatures gradually fall back, low 70s by 11. We're going to take a look at where the thunderstorms are now, where they're headed, and how the rest of our weekend is shaping up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, some Joplin residents want to know why they weren't able to get into the city's designated storm shelters on Sunday. Storm sirens wailed because of high winds. And some Joplin residents tell us they panicked when they discovered the shelters were locked. School officials have the discretion to open the shelters in those conditions, but it does take time.
In this situation, it was a severe thunderstorm. There was no tornado watch. There was no tornado warning. It was high winds that kind of caught us all off guard. And so in the process of trying to get into our system to unlock the safe rooms automatically, because it was not automatically triggered because there was no tornado warning, we were having to go in to manually do it. And in that process, our system, we were not able to access our system at that time.
The district says there was a glitch in the system. However, they tell us the problem is now fixed. Now, in addition to hail and wind, the weekend storms also came with lightning. A homeowner in Walnut Shade near Branson says lightning struck near his propane tank, traveled through the propane line into his home and started a fire at his furnace. After hearing the smoke detectors, he shut off the propane and was able to extinguish most of the fire before firefighters arrived. Western Taney County Battalion Sheriff Jeff Duckworth credits the homeowner's actions and wants this to be a reminder about practicing good fire safety.
Detectors working, change your clock, change your batteries. If you have a fire extinguisher in your house, make sure it's near an exit. So if you change your mind and decide not to fight fire, you can exit the house, and also make sure you know how to use it.
Firefighters also want to remind you if thunder roars, go indoors. That's because lightning can travel from 10 to 40 miles outside of a thunderstorm. Parking lots across the McDonald County School District are getting a makeover as part of an effort to improve safety and appearance. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how the school district is paving its way to improvement.
For the McDonald County School District, the sound of construction is the sound of progress, even if that progress is something as simple as paving parking lots.
It's great to see how everybody gets excited, and honestly, probably if you're not from here, this doesn't excite you much. It's a paved parking lot. But when you're from here, this is exciting.
Parking lots across the school district are being paved, many of which were previously gravel. It's part of a more than $21 million bond issue passed by voters in 2022. which has helped make other improvements, including new storm shelters and interior improvements. The paving project is estimated to cost roughly $650,000.
People don't pay a lot of attention to the driveways, but it's a necessary need that we have.
Now behind me, you can see the paving project currently underway here at the Pineville Elementary School. It's one of half a dozen schools in the district to be getting the upgrade. The McDonald County High School parking lots have already been paved, replacing the gravel roads, which staff say would become a dust cloud.
The road behind the high school is probably one of the busiest roads in the county, as all of the buses start here and then travel out to the outlying schools. So to have that paved, it's going to cut down on the dust and the travel, the wear and tear. No more getting out, on rainy days and stepping in mud or having to drive through the ruts, to park. So it's going to be a huge morale boost for our teachers.
The district superintendent says while parking lots may not be the flashiest thing to show off, the added safety they bring is a big benefit.
It is safer, for one, not just automobiles, but like I said, we have so many students that walk through here, walking on rock, walking through mud whenever it rains. So it's definitely a safer feel for that aspect of it.
All projects covered by the bond issue are about making McDonald County schools safer and up to date. District staff say they're grateful for the community's investment.
Our community has always been very supportive, but it means a lot that they care so much about safety and security, putting safe rooms for weather events in every town, and then now getting the paving done too so that our buses have a better, safer way to travel.
Reporting in McDonald County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Well, the school district says all parking lots that are planned for the project will be finished this summer ahead of the start of the new school year. A new summer day camp for young bike, skateboard, and scooter riders kicked off yesterday at the Rooted Action Park outside Joplin. Ramp Camp is a 4-day program that helps kids ages 7 through 15 grow in their park skills, learn new tricks, and build their confidence. The indoor facility provides a safe space for kids to enjoy action sports and meet others with similar interests.
See a kid who's never ridden a ramp before, and then within a day or two, or even a few hours, they're cheering themselves on, and they're experiencing and doing something new. So yeah, that's why we do what we do.
Ramp Camp will occur 4 other times this summer. Coming up, a curfew is now in effect in a 1-mile area of downtown Los Angeles amid ongoing demonstrations against ICE raids. And later, we're making south of the border chicken salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, a curfew has gone into effect in part of downtown Los Angeles amid protests against the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. The president has deployed hundreds of Marines and thousands of National Guard troops to the city to quell the unrest. Danya Bacchus reports from Los Angeles.
Authorities in Los Angeles are calling their new curfew a success following another night of protest against President Trump's immigration crackdown. The partial curfew, which took effect Tuesday night, impacts 1 square mile of a city that's over 500 square miles, where demonstrators are making their voices heard.
People are being picked up off the street. They're being snatched up out of Home Depots and Walmarts.
Over the past few days, the LAPD has carried out more than 300 arrests amid isolated instances of violence and looting.
If you do not live or work in downtown LA, avoid the area.
This morning, Attorney General Pam Bondi revealed the Trump administration will seek to prosecute looters at the federal level.
If you loot a store, we are going to charge you with robbery under the Hobbs Act, and you're looking at maximum 20 years in prison.
The development comes just days after President Trump mobilized 4,000 National Guard troops to secure federal buildings in LA and 700 Marines, now stationed more than 20 miles away.
We don't need the National Guard, and they're not here to help us right now. They're here to facilitate what the federal agencies are doing on the immigration front.
California Governor Gavin Newsom shared those sentiments.
We do not want our streets militarized by our own armed forces.
A federal judge is set to hold a hearing Thursday over the governor's request to block the Trump administration from using troops in LA. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, President Donald Trump is planning to phase out the Federal Emergency Management Agency after this year's hurricane season. Now, on Tuesday, he said he wants to bring FEMA down to the state level and let governors handle it. Trump added that the federal government will start distributing less federal aid for disaster recovery. Now, this comes as the president approved federal funds yesterday to supplement recovery efforts in the areas affected in Missouri by the severe storms, straight-line winds, tornadoes, and flooding on May 16th. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley introduced legislation to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour. The Higher Wages for American Workers Act would increase the minimum wage standard starting in 2026 and also call for an increase in subsequent years to match inflation. The federal minimum is just $7.25 per hour and hasn't been raised in more than 15 years. Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Today, we're making a fill-you-up main dish that's so good, you won't have to turn your oven on all summer long. So stick around and I'll show you what I mean.
And clouds increasing. It's getting a little muggier out there as well, ahead of increasing rain chances. The latest when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So temperatures heating up again, but not that far above normal as we head into the afternoon, but our rain chances starting to increase as well. Let's start that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. And again, mostly cloudy skies out there. Again, they'll eventually just become straight up cloudy as time goes on. And so here's the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Now, of course, in our area right now, there is nothing. We told you this morning there would be nothing until, say, 5 o'clock or so. But here's where something is, and this is what's going to eventually make its way up north and bring us our shower and thunderstorm chances as we head through the evening and into tomorrow. It's just one big system down here that's going to continue to spin, lifting north out of Texas, crossing into southeastern Oklahoma, and eventually will give us our shower thunderstorm chances, and they will look about like this. Well, first off, we're going to stop at 2. Couple isolated showers. They start to show up a little earlier, but even then, very isolated at this point. Still after about 5, we start to see a few more of these isolated showers, couple of thunderstorms out there. Nothing too crazy, and it'll begin to pick up in coverage as we go again overnight tonight, especially into tomorrow. Scattered showers, thunderstorms across the area, and at this point, still some good news. No severe weather is expected with any of this activity, which severe weather is really the last thing that we need, but we could get some thunderstorms with heavier rainfall at times. So we are looking at least at a localized flash flooding concern, or even just a localized flooding concern that we want to keep an eye on, and you want to make sure you're keeping an eye on because some of the heavy rain could lead to some issues out there. Otherwise, again, just some thunderstorms. The system continues to lift to the north throughout the day on Thursday. So it'll also again be scattered. So it may stop raining for a little bit before it starts up again. It continues into Friday morning as well. More scattered showers, a few thunderstorms, a couple of those lingering into the afternoon, and then as we head later into the evening, this whole thing starts to shift off to the east, and we start to see shower thunderstorm chances winding down as we head into Saturday. As for the rest of today, though, it's going to get muggy. The clouds are going to continue to increase, mid-upper 80s, so again, not too terribly far off average. South winds 5 to 10, isolated shower storm this afternoon. Shower thunderstorm chances picking up after midnight tonight. Still mild, though, back into the upper 60s with the southeast breeze at 5 to 10. We head into tomorrow, scattered showers, thunderstorms. We get some peaks of sunshine here and there. Around 80, so a little bit below normal, a little bit cooler. South winds still 5 to 10 out there. Then after that, we're still a little cool for Friday, at least comparatively to where we are today and where we were yesterday. Low 80s out there. Scattered showers, thunderstorms wrapping up as we head into the evening. Then we start heating back up again. Pop-up shower and thunderstorm chances possible by next Sunday and Monday. Then next week, those are 9s in front of those other numbers on there, and we are getting into the low, maybe even close to the mid-90s as we head into next weekend. So temperatures definitely heating up. And it is certainly going to start to feel like summertime out there. So make sure you're ready. And again, even though for some folks maybe that's not too terribly hot, but we've discussed other groups can be more sensitive. If you know your family or friends or your pets may not do so well in the heat, just starting now is a good time to start keeping an eye on them because
Absolutely.
Here it comes.
It's a great reminder, especially as, we're just a few days away from the official start of summer.
And it's going to start to really feel like summer here in the 4 states.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, stick around. We're making south of the border chicken salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, if you're looking for a twist on boring old salads, then today's Mr. Food recipe is perfect for you. Not only is it light and refreshing, perfect for those hot summer days ahead of us, but it's going to be a flavor-loaded way to chow down on something light. Now, Howard is making a south of the border chicken salad in the Mr. Food test kitchen.
When it comes to getting dinner on the table night after night, it can get pretty challenging. So I want to share a recipe that'll help you out when you just don't know what to make. As the weather gets warmer, we start craving dishes that are lighter, but we still want ones that'll satisfy our family. The recipe that we're whipping up today is one of my personal favorites. We start by adding some diced tomatoes to a head of chopped romaine, along with a good amount of corn, black beans that we've drained and rinsed, a bit of diced red onion, and a handful of shredded cheddar. We set that aside for a sec and toss a good amount of cooked chicken that we've cut up into cubes with some barbecue sauce. We put the chicken on and drizzle on some ranch dressing. You can serve this as is, but I like to pop it in the fridge for a few minutes before serving it. A few tortilla strips go on top, and it's time to ring the dinner bell. The sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, along with the cool ranch, makes this a perfect combo. To get the recipe for our south of the border chicken salad, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a tasty change of pace kind of way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Well, that looks absolutely incredible. And of course, as always, you can find this recipe for this south of the border chicken salad, along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Now, all you have to do is head on over to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the First State market prices.
All right, so here we go. We are going to again still be toasty today, upper 80s, but not too far above normal. Scattered showers, storms start building in this afternoon. A few of those isolated, then scattered overnight into Thursday. They should wrap up by late Friday. A few pop-up storms Sunday and Monday. And then, yeah, no, summer's definitely getting here next week. Temperatures into the low to possibly mid-90s.
That's officially hot, eh?
I think so.
Agree.
Yeah, that's
I
getting
agree.
hot up there.
All right, Chris, thanks. David, our first leader on.
Well, lots coming up at 5. For starters, possible signs of dementia besides memory issues. How your senses could play a factor in early detection. Plus, property values in Jasper County are on the rise, what this means for residents. And this weekend, Grove, Oklahoma is welcoming the public to the annual Toes in the Grand Summer Festival. We're going to take a look at what's in store for this year. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, Dal, thanks. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.